When I left Christianity, church, and religion, I embraced atheism. I went to therapy. I learned how to regulate my emotions, how to just exist without thinking that every thought, emotion, and desire was Satan. It's hard to unlearn things you've learned and held to for a quarter of a century. So yeah, atheism taught me to reject religious bias. And what's religious bias? Well, when I was a Christian, I held very bigoted, ignorant views about minorities, ethnicities, and marginalized communities. I grew up in a very racist, white supremacist educational environment. I was taught slavery wasn't a bad thing. That hurts just to say it. I was taught that women's place was in the home, that women were not leaders, even though they are. I was taught that being a homosexual or a transsexual was a sin, that they were unnatural and evil, predators. They're not. Actually, the people that claim that they are the most likely people to harm you and your children. It's the opposite. The people who scream most about morality are the people who are the most immoral. And I learned that most of the things I was taught was backwards. So yeah, I reject the idea that LGBTQIA individuals are living in sin, that what they do is unnatural. I reject that. If 18 to 22% of the population that are not born cis and heterosexual exist, then there has to be a reason. They're not born wrong. They're not a mistake or an oopsie. And it's funny how Christians who believe God doesn't make mistakes believe that being gay is a mistake. How can someone's entire sexuality be wrong if they claim God doesn't make mistakes? It doesn't compute at all. I mean, the amount of mental gymnastics required to be Christian and view 18 to 22% of the population as unnatural, it just boggles my mind. Do they not understand basic biology? Because there are dozens of instances of animals that are not heterosexual. There are ecosystems that include non-heterosexual things and bugs and moths. Like, how in the world do you go through life so ignorant you think that gay penguins don't exist? Is it rare? I wouldn't say rare. Is it common? I wouldn't say it's common. But yeah, 1 out of 5 people, and if you're in certain places, it's 1 out of 4. Because if you're more in a democratic place, there's probably going to be more on the other side just because of location. But yeah, it's usually anywhere from 1 out of 4 or 1 out of 5 people aren't heterosexual. I mean, how ignorant do you have to be to think that these people don't exist? And my Christian culture erased them, which is a hate crime. And I learned something I never knew when I was a Christian, that over 2,000 people in the LGBTQIA community are targeted, killed, or harmed every year in the U.S. They're victimized by people who believe what the Bible says, or they believe in the white supremacy, white male privilege ideology. I don't believe that the LGBTQIA people are an abomination. I don't believe they're sinful. I don't believe they're going to hell because I don't believe heaven and hell exists. I don't believe in things that make people afraid. I just don't believe that. I don't believe they're sick. I do believe that the people who spread hate are definitely sick people. And it's a sickness of the mind to believe that anyone who's different from you is sick or unnatural. They just don't understand. And a lot of the time, they don't want to. And it's not my job to educate people. If they find videos like this, then sure. I'm not qualified to educate people about these things. I do share statistics and I share why I don't believe in it, but I'm not giving people life advice. I reject religious bias. Anything that Christians and any group of people, anything they hate based on their beliefs, I want no part of. I want nothing to do with any podcaster, YouTube channel, or hate group that talks badly about African Americans, disses famous activists, slurs Martin Luther King Jr. I want nothing to do with those groups of people. And in my opinion, America was built on the worst bigotry imaginable. And it wasn't built on Christianity. It was built on bigotry. We're a country that seldomly and consistently chooses leaders that reflects the values that we want to have in this country. And I celebrated my first Pride this year. Even though I'm not a member of the community, I see myself as an ally. I don't want to be a bigot because Christianity and that kind of white supremacy background made me a bigot in every way imaginable. And bigotry is usually a mask for cultural and racial and sexual ignorance. And it's not just ignorant people that are bigots. Some of the most educated minds in this country are bigots. Look at Trump. Bigot. Some of the most wealthiest people in the world are bigots. And anyone who supports bigots is a bigot. I refuse to do anything for these people. And anyone who says that, well, any white person who says that if they saw that their pilot was black, that they would have less confidence in the human being based on their race is a bigot. And it's true. I want to be a different kind of person. America won't survive if we keep electing and holding these bigots up as paragons of morality.